Hello YouTube. So I'm in the middle of a project and my little Lincoln MIG-PAC 10, which I use a flux core wire in, has run out of wire, and I'm switching it from a 2-pound roll to a 10-pound roll. I just picked up Lincoln Electric, what's it called, NR211MP, and I'm going to put that in, so I figured I'd make a little video on installing wire and switching from the 2-pound to the 10-pound. It's extremely easy, very intuitive, but I thought I'd do it anyway. Maybe somebody wants to watch, maybe somebody's never done it before, who knows. So here it is, the Lincoln MIG-PAC 10. Lots of dirt on it, lots of use. This thing is about 12 years old. It's over 10 years for sure, and it's had quite a bit of use. I have used it past its duty cycle before, which made it kick out on me and go into the overheat mode, but that's basically just misuse or overuse, I guess. Compartment on the side of the welder, it opens up. Here is the inner shield NR211MP, which I've already taken out and removed from the plastic bag. There's a piece of wire that is curled around and stuck back in the spool. You might be tempted to pull that out, but do not pull that out at this point. So the wire is in underneath this roller. When we flip this little spring-loaded guy down here, we'll see the, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but the end of the old wire is right on top of that roller. So when you undo this, don't turn that wing nut. The wing nut adjusts the tension on the rollers, and that determines how much force is on the wire. If you put too much on it, especially with the flux core, you can crush the wire and then it won't feed properly. If you don't have enough pressure, then it won't feed properly because it will just slip on the wire. So you just pull that wing nut off, pull the spacer off, and then take the spool off itself. I had always used the Lincoln wire. I bought this kind of skeptical because of the price, but it actually worked quite well. The welder should have come with this adapter, and all you do with that is slide it on in place of the small spool, put your spacer back in, and lightly tighten the wing nut. The wing nut sets the amount of drag, which is important because you need some drag on there so that the spool won't just come undone. So now we just slide the 10-pound spool on so that it is unwinding from the bottom side. So now we need to take care of the old wire. So we need to grab a pair of pliers. I have a pair of needle nose right here, so I'll use them. You could use any kind of pliers. So you just grab that and you just pull the wire out. So every time you change a spool of wire, you end up with some waste wire. So I have a 10-foot torch lead on this welder, which means every time I change a spool, I lose 10 feet of wire. So if I use 2-pound spools, I end up losing 5 times as much as I would with this. So that's 50 feet of wire that I'm losing compared to using a 10-pound spool. So that's something to take into consideration. Okay, now that we have that all sorted out, we need to carefully find the end of the new spool, the end of the wire on the new spool, pull out a short length, clip off the bent piece. We need a nice straight piece. We put that in the hole here on the back side. Let's see if the camera can pick that up. There's a hole on the back side. If I push it through, we'll see it come out on top of the roller. And if I continue pushing it, sometimes you have to guide it. I'll use the pliers because if I put my finger in the way, you won't be able to see it. There's a hole there. And now it's in that hole. So what we do, we take this, we fold it down, and we flip this back up. If we were using a different size wire, we would have to adjust the tension on this. If you were going smaller, you would have to add tension to this, and if you were going larger, you would have to release some tension on this. Now that we have the spool installed, and that run through here, close the panel, close the storage compartment. We will turn it on and crank the wire speed up all the way. So now I depress the trigger and wait for the wire to come out. In most cases, it's not actually going to come out, the tip, it's going to jam. Sometimes it will come all the way through, so I'm going to wait and see if it comes all the way through. Okay, so I heard it jam. I heard the sound of the feed change. If you hear the sound of the feed changing, you want to immediately stop. If you don't, it's going to end up damaging the wire from the pulley slipping at the bottom. So what we're going to do now, I'm glad that it didn't work because now I'll show you. We got to remove this tip and pull the wire through. Since we've been using the welder, we want to discharge the tip on the ground clamp. It may not actually have anything there, but we'll touch it on just to discharge it before we start playing around with it. Alright, so you don't have to take this cover off here, but I will anyway. Just grab a pair of pliers, loosen the tip off, turn the welder back on, and pull the trigger, and we can see the wire has fed through. Turn the welder back off. Alright, so now we just take the tip, slide it on the wire, and thread it back in. Take a pair of pliers and snug it up. Doesn't have to be very tight. And we'll screw our protective cover back on. And that's it.